Hey Yogi, says Austin. Sorry, I think I made a mistake in my scheduling. Um, I think I had it set for 4:48, and it should have been set for 5:20. And I noticed that, so I wanted to come here and set that right. How you doing, Austin? You still here? I'm looking for. I'm on my channel, and I'm looking for a video for sleep stuff that I made a couple weeks ago. Give me a few seconds, guys. Sorting things out. I want to send a video to a friend. It does seem, and of course, I've known this, we've all known this, there is a sleep epidemic. Probably all of us at one time or another have had sleep issues, and more than likely, all of us will continue unless we do something about it. And there is something we can do. We turn very quickly to pharmaceuticals. The problem with that is they begin to the efficiency, is that the word I'm looking for? Begins to wear off. It is not as they cease to be as effective. So we need to up the dose. So we need to try something different or something stronger, and that simply doesn't help. But here's what helps: adopting a well planned out sleep hygiene practice. Hey, Stuart, how are you? If you don't have a sleep hygiene practice, um, it's not as hard as we make it out to be. Simply getting up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, getting early morning sunlight, doing breath work specifically at night before you go to bed, elongating the exhale, breathing through the nose as often as possible. Hey, Tandra, how are you? It was nice seeing you over at Optimobs. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sending, I want to send a video to a friend of ours, actually, Lion. If you guys are familiar with Lion, he's a relatively new regular. He has reached out to me via email for some help with a few things, one of which is being sleep. And again, as I mentioned, um, we all have had at one time or another some sleep issues. If we haven't, well, guys, you got something to look forward to. Not that I'm wishing that upon anyone, and I don't know if this will work for everyone. Can't Stop, Won't Stop says, what's your favorite book? That's a tough question to answer because it does change. But there's a few that are always there. Lonesome Dove is a beautiful book, an epic book. 600 some pages. It won the Pulitzer Prize, I believe, in the late 80s. I absolutely love it. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude. Um, Epic, again. Uh, Jitterbug Perfume, Tom Robbins. I absolutely love that book. And then for Razor's Edge, Somerset Maugham, set me off on a spiritual quest that has lasted 45 years. Longer. For a second, I forgot how old I am. For a second, I forgot that I'm actually old. So, man, it has lasted, I guess 45 years. Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda. Let's see. Stuart says, I'm good, just finishing my flies. Some of my favorite times during the day is sitting at my desk and watching Stuart tie his flies, having a conversation with him, and listening as he has a conversation with everyone that pops in. Him and Wendy, actually. I hope you guys get a chance to visit Stuart. John says, Eric, have you had any experiences with reflecting negative words and emotions from other people? I have, my entire life, including here. Every day, someone will come in with a word, with a comment or a conversation, with the sole purpose of wanting me to feel bad about myself. Imagine that. It's someone wakes up in the morning, and in the back of their mind, they know they're going to go on YouTube or somewhere else online, and they're going to look around. They're going to find someone, for whatever reason, they say this is the person, maybe several people, and leave a comment for the sole purpose of making someone feel bad about themselves. And they could just as easily leave a comment designed to make someone feel good about themselves. And what a difference that makes. Not for me, but for them. If you compare how you feel, we've all been negative towards someone. How do we feel when we walk away? Negative towards anyone. Even if we think they deserve it, we sort of have this smug energy, but it wears off, and we're left feeling sort of blank. Versus that feeling you get when you've lifted someone up. Sometimes for no other reason except that you want to lift someone up. The difference is amazing, and it all has to do with the vibration of what we're putting out to other people. We can either project fear, which is of the ego, or we can extend love, which is from spirit, which is from God. At any time. We can't do both. When we are projecting fear, we're projecting an illusion. When we are extending love, we are practicing reality. So are other people. So if someone comes with you with a comment that is negative, they are projecting fear. It's their fear. It's not yours. The best course of action. Never to argue. Never to say, nah. I know you are, what am I? The best course of action. Be defenseless. That doesn't mean that you take abuse. You could walk away, but by being defenseless, it means the refusal to defend yourself to something or someone that is an illusion. Why would you defend yourself against an illusion? It's their thoughts, their words, not yours. You are who you are as spirit. You are immune to what they are trying to give you. You're immune. As long as you know it. When you forget, it's not their words, it's your belief in their words, meaning it's all taken place in your head. so you can forgive it and you can let it go. And in the process of forgiving, again, you're not forgiving the person. You're forgiving the effects. You're forgiving the cause, that it's based on fear, their fear. And you don't need to share that. I hope that helps a little bit. Mr. Waldo DeBaldo. Thank you so much. Coffee and me. Have a good week. Man, that is absolutely awesome. And you know what? It will go for coffee. That's for sure. I have 1 cup a day. And my morning cup is sacred to me because I know I'm only having that 1 cup. I have it when I'm writing every morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. Man, thank you. That is quite a gift. Leo says, great words, Brother Yogi. That was dope. Hey, thank you, Leo. Appreciate you being here. John says, thank you, Eric. I've been experiencing negativity and unexperienced with matters on confrontation and defending myself. Anytime you defend yourself in a situation like that, it puts you in a weakened position, because what you're saying is, I believe you. I believe that's true. Your words have affected me so deeply that the only thing I can do is defend myself. But when you know it's a thought in their mind, not a thought in your mind, until you accept it, you have nothing to defend. Defenselessness is power. Man, I got people coming in every day who want me to believe what they are saying about me. And I don't argue with them. I don't defend. I don't say, that's not true. I don't look like that. I don't sound like that. I don't care. I do not care what they think. Doesn't mean I don't care about them. Doesn't mean that I don't extend love. Doesn't mean that I don't offer forgiveness. Forgiveness is my strength. Forgiveness is my power. When I forgive, I am unaffected by other people. When I hold a resentment, I'm giving that person power over me. I'm saying, your words, your thoughts affect me so deeply that all I can do is think about it all day. That all I can do is defend myself. I defend myself to you, and then when you're gone, I continue defending myself. And I start thinking, I should have said this, I should have said that. If I was only a little quicker, if I was only wittier, funnier, whatever. And the entire conversation is taking place in my head. That person's not even here anymore. Everything anyone says about you is already instantly in the past. Here's a great line from A Course in Miracles. The one wholly true thing that one can say about the past is that it's not here. It's the only true thing we can say about the past. It's not here. And if it's not here, it can't affect you. Austin says, how you doing today, everyone? I'm good, Austin. Just enjoying your video. Austin is the fastest talker on YouTube. I also enjoyed your Oreo cookie Coke. I didn't know they made such a thing. Did you guys know that there's a Oreo flavor Coca-Cola? Crazy. The only time in the past, 30 years that I've ever had, well, in my drinking days, I might occasionally have Jack and Coke or something like that. But I largely don't drink soda. But in long races, 50 milers, even a couple of 100 milers, I would have a little Coke, I should say soft drink, Pepsi, in the later parts of the race. And it would really gives you caffeine, gives you sugar, gives you energy. You don't want that all the time, but if you're running 50K, 50 miles, comes in handy. Chad says, I work for Pepsi. So, all right, we're going Pepsi. No Coca-Cola, Pepsi only. You can hear that, guys? We are officially a Pepsi-only channel. As with this moment on, salute to our friend Chad. Chad says, hello, I'm looking to volunteer as a mod for a channel. Is this one? It might be, but we usually ask people, show up for a while, show up for a few times, hang out, get to know other people so that you're comfortable. Some people come in and they joke, and it might sound like they're being mean, but they're not. And a new mod, might block them. So, we want to give people time. Stuart says, can I jump in this, please? Absolutely. Absolutely, Stuart. Chad works for Pepsi. Yep. Hey, Oracles, how are you, my friend? Oracle says, what's up, dude? Chad says, yes. Chad says, Mountain Dew is better than Pepsi, though. I got a confession, man. I've never had Mountain Dew before, ever. I've only had one sip of an energy drink, and that was in a race. And boy, that was a mistake. It did not sit well with me. Austin says, cheers. Clink. Chad says, yes. Let's see. I'm in a way affiliated says, is Cheerwine so allowed? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Chad Ryan says he understands. And are you kidding? Nope. 59 years old. And I've never had Mountain Dew. I've only had one sip of an energy drink. And it was not good. Chad says, I can't be out here if you've never had Mountain Dew. Oh, man. I'm sorry. All right, Chad. Just Chad. Man, so if I want to get Chad as a mod, I got to down a Mountain Dew. I got to drink a whole Mountain Dew, or can I just take a sip? Hey, Sue, how are you? Sue's waving at Austin. So in no way, I don't know what a Cheerwine is. Stuart says, yes, for things in the past. Yes, it's in the past, but I got to say that for every action in the past has a reaction from now onwards. Just my personal explanation on YouTube. Law of cause and effect, karma. But there's ways of transcending karma. One of which, well, we suffer. We burn off the karma that we've affiliated. That's the hard way. Nobody wants to do that, but that's what we always do. The other is to transcend karma by a life of service, doing good for other people, putting our own needs. We don't erase our needs. We take care of ourselves. Being of service doesn't mean not being in service to ourselves, but it means that we are in service to other people. And that way, we are producing better effects from that cause, canceling out the previous karma. And the third way, well, there's actually 4 ways. Third way is entering the gap, which we experience during meditation. The gap is the absence of thought, suspension of breath for just a moment. Suspension of breath, the absence of thought, means you are not producing any more karma. You dip in and you come out, and you're just a little more free than when you enter. The 4th way, the most effective way, the way of grace, is the way of forgiveness. When you are forgiving, you are canceling out those cause and effects. You are literally making yourself effect proof, unaffected by the thoughts, by the good opinion, by the bad opinion, by the beliefs of others. Foolproof. But you got to practice it. And it has to be sincere forgiveness. And it's not forgiveness offered to another person. So again, if we say that the only wholly true thing that we can say about the past is that it's not here, but then we have a thought about the past, that brings it here again, if only a memory. When we forgive, it's gone, absent. If we ever even have a thought about it, it's absent of the weight of this is what was done to me. And the realization that there is no me, the me is just the ego, which doesn't truly exist. Neuroscience shows if we cut the brain open, we don't find an ego. There's no such thing. It's a collection of thoughts, an energetic hold, an energetic pattern that has happened so frequently that we've given it identity, and we call that identity me. The narrator doesn't exist. You are not your thoughts. If you're not your thoughts, in the absence of thought, in the absence of the thought of me, how can anything affect you? Chad says, no, you're a grown man. You drink what you want. I just can't believe you haven't had a deal. It was offered to me a few times in some races, but generally speaking, in a race, you don't want to experiment with something you've never had. If you're at mile 42 in a 50-mile race, all it takes is one bad thing. We got some emojis. She says, just got done trimming some bushes before the rain starts. Good workout. Gardening is an excellent workout. I often thought I should put together do a yoga video, yoga for gardeners, relieving tension in the shoulders, in the neck, and the lower back, as well as the hips and the knees. I love Art says hi. Hello, my friend. How are you? Austin's waving at everyone. Sue says, I never had a deal. Not my thing, I guess. Let's see. Ark says, hello, buddy. What's this stream about? Right now, we're talking about forgiveness and being free of the cause and effect, being free of karma. And is it possible to be free of karma? Is it possible to remove ourselves from that chain of cause and effect? But you know what? We're also talking about Mountain Dew. But we could talk about anything and everything. Here's what we're not talking about. We're not talking about Coca-Cola because this is a Pepsi-only channel. We're also a Raiders channel, by the way. If you're a football fan, we're a Raiders channel because of our good friend, the Burpee Reaper. We get away from oracles. Hixa says, I will never forget pedos. Well, here's the thing. We are not forgiving the person. We're not forgiving the action. Ever. We don't condone the action. Ever. We don't let people off the hook. Ever. What we forgive is the fact that there was actually, this is a hard thing to explain, a hard thing to really dive into. Hey, Joe, Hawk076. What we're forgiving, again, isn't the action. We're going deeper. We're going deeper and deeper and deeper. We are seeing the innocence of a person who is so deluded in the thought system, in the egoic system, that makes it such a thing, such a horrendous act possible. That's the art of forgiveness. But I understand what you're saying, my friend. Hawk says, what's up, brother? Not much. Man, Hawk, you've been putting in some big work. Poor man says, Saudi Yogi, brethren. Poor man, how are you? I need to get to your channel. Oracle says that Denny has three, the id, the ego, and the superego. And yet, all aspects of the ego are still an illusion. Still an illusion. They don't actually exist outside of a thought, outside of a collection of thoughts. Without the thought of ego, without the concept of ego, who would we be? What would we be? Our friend Jacob is here and dropping links. Much appreciated. Chad says, well, I have to go now. Keep me in mind for mod, please. I will. I'd like a channel to help out. Later, everyone. Take care, Chad. It's a nice visit from Chad. Thank you, Jacob. John Doe says, hi, everyone. Here we go. John Doe says, Eric, I found better relief and quality from meditation based on your insights on the matter. I've held your words close ever since I found your channel. Well, thank you, John. Man, I really appreciate hearing that. I think I mentioned before, if you want help in meditation, if you want to learn primordial sound meditation, which is an ancient Vedic mantra meditation, it's from that same Vedic ocean from which transcendental meditation came from. I will reach out to me on email. It's on my page, and I'll teach you absolutely for free. Rogo says forgiveness is good for yourself. It absolutely is. It never has anything to do with the other person. Never has anything to do with the other person. Which is why when someone says, "Well, I'll never forgive this person or this type of person," it's not about that person or that other person. It's forgiving our projection of fear, which causes the world of our perception in which a thing like that can take place. When we forgive the projections, then the world begins to change. The world in which we perceive begins to change. We free ourselves with stress. Absolutely. Forgiveness is very free. Thanks, Oracles. Poor man says, nice live this AM, Jacob. You and Leo smashed it. And then Leo came back for more. Leo came back with a push-up routine this evening. Jacob says, thank you, brother Poor Man. And how you doing, brother? Poor Man says, 10 more subs. I can get in on it. Hey, is there anyone here not subscribed to Poor Man's Gym? That's crazy that we're not at 50 yet. So, man, just 7 minutes ago, Poor Man posted a video, 200 seals with 40-pounder and ankle weights. As if 40 pounds wasn't enough. You got to add in those ankle weights. That's crazy. Hey, Dreadson. So, yeah, hey, guys. Please subscribe to Poor Man. You won't regret it. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Michael, 9K says, hi, cute men. You look so cute. Well, that's a kind thing to say. I'll take it. I appreciate every compliment. John says, Eric, I have to go, but I hope you have a good day. I'll look more into primordial sound meditation, and I hope everyone a good day as well. Thank you, John. Much appreciated, my friend. Anything is possible. Popping in for a quick hello. Didn't do it here, but I'll leave you a run. Thank you, Bob. Very much appreciated. Stuart's here, or he was just a bit ago. Hey, Bob, if you're still here, If you're not subscribed to our friend Poor Man's Gym, if you take a look at his channel, and if you think you might be interested, we really want to get Poor Man up to 50 so he can live stream. How you doing, Dreadson? How's your training going? Dresden says, Poor Man, I like your sledgehammer work. Poor Man says, thank you, Yogi. Absolutely. Michael says, Jacob Colby, thank you. I love you so much more. Jacob's a lovable guy. Hey, Brattle. Brattle says, when did you become lonely? It's a good question. Probably always. Probably my entire life. And in the 80s, I tried to fix that a bit with drugs. In the 90s, I tried to drink it away for an entire decade. When I quit drinking, the loneliness deepened, but it was different. It was different. Now it wasn't a loneliness that was from people. I wasn't lonely so much as alone and getting to know who I was alone with. And what I discovered is that you're never really alone. And with that, the loneliness turned into something else. It turned into a holiness. Very still, easy peacefulness. That although there's been events, motion, things that might throw me off my game a bit, it's been unwavering ever since. A true sense of never ever being alone, but connected to everything and everyone. So interesting question, Brattle. Dredson's feeling fine. Trading is progressing. Transitions, mixing it up. I am too. I got my kettlebell out. I'm doing get-ups. Lots of pull-ups, some dips. Still doing the burpees, but as a matter of fact, yesterday was 1,000 days in a row. 1,000 burpee sessions in a row. Stuart says, Poor Man, coming over to my channel. I will help you grow. Not only will Stuart help you grow, you'll have a good time hanging out with Stuart. Stuart is wise, he's kind, and he's funny. That's a tough combination to find in a single person. Let's see. Michael says, brother, your age is 30. It hasn't been for 30 years. Man, 2025 in April, I'm going to hit the big 6-0. 2 years away from Social Security. Man, if I could coast on YouTube, make just enough money for 2 more years, I won't be rich from Social Security, but I'll pay my bills. I don't need to be rich. I need to be happy. And here's the thing. I'm already happy. Poor Man says, thanks, man. I need a 30-pound sledge. The mall is 16. Man, it takes a special... You don't hear that from just anyone. I need a 30-pound sledge. Michael says, Jacob Colby, you like it? I am your friend. Jacob's a great guy. Poor Man says, Dredson, I like any content where people improvise with homemade stuff. Good work, brother. Stuart has connected to Poor Man. Thank you, Stuart. So, yep, 10 more. We see right here that Poor Man is at 40 subs. Stuart, Poor Man does some insane workouts. Poor man says, "Will do." Stuart. Justin says, "I've been doing some pull-ups on some scaffolding at work." Of all the exercises that have dropped as I've gotten older, the only really big one, pull-ups. I went from doing over 20 fairly easily, with the max being over 30, to, man, I got 11 today and I was happy with it. Don't know why. It's not so much the grip. Michael says, "Jacob, thanks. Gives me respect. I'm very happy. I'm a TikToker, hot shorts, so I will give you 100 subscribers because you will give me respect. I love you more." That's awful nice of you. You know what? This has been a live stream of confessions. I confessed that I've only had one sip of an energy drink. I've never had Mountain Dew. And here's another confession. I've never been on TikTok. That's not to say I've never watched the video, because Mocha's on TikTok and she will send me, she doesn't put content on TikTok, but she likes, especially animals, especially dogs, people who do dog videos and TikToks. And if there's one she particularly likes, she will send it to me. But I've never actually like gone to TikTok. But hey, much respect to you, my friend, for what you do. Rado says, "When you did the dirty stuff, what was your tough about being 60? Dirty stuff, you mean the partying, the drinking? Well, in my teens, early 20s, I sort of thought of it, what I was doing, as not experimental, almost like a sacrament. You know, I was following the Grateful Dead. I had read Carlos Castaneda and wanted to experiment with plant medicine. In the mid 20s, the early 30s, I was just trying to punish myself. I literally was drinking for my own destruction. No other reason. I could have rationalized it then. I'm just trying to be social. I'm just trying to fit in. I'm just trying to be happy. But the truth is, I was trying to kill myself with alcohol. Foreman says, "Sub Stuart, you Scottish brother?" And he is born and bred. Born and bred, but on his way to the US. Hopefully by summertime. Hey, Stuart is a full-time YouTuber, as is Any Fitness Possible. You'll see his link up above if you can click on it. Anyone who is trying to be a full-time YouTuber, following their passion, doing what they love to do, man, if you guys can help support these guys, watch a video, leave a comment, hang out on the live stream. For one, it's just a lot of fun. These are top guys, excellent people, excellent human beings. So you'll have fun just hanging out with them. It's a lot of fun hanging out with Stuart as he ties flies. It's a lot of fun lakeside or riverside, whatever the case might be, hanging out with Bob. Michael says, "Okay, brother." But hey, Michael, like I said, much respect to you for what you do. If I ever do go on TikTok, my friend, I will be looking you up. Poor man says, "Nice Scottish on my father's side. Grandma was a curry." Hey, what's a curry? Michael says, "Brother, your face like Peaky Blinder," means Thomas Shelby. I have not watched that, but I got good reviews. Dredson says, Picks. Is that what the Currys wore? Picks? I know they were a British tribe at one point, right? Dredson says, I want to see the pyramid in Scotland. Michael says, Stuart means God, God's country. Hey, I didn't know that. Plus, Scotland is God's country. I believe it. I believe it. Hey, Squirrel Sniper. Hey, I watched the highlights of that fight. That was not much of a fight. Almost looked like he didn't even belong in the same ring with him. Poor man says, love to visit Scotland someday. I'd love to visit everywhere in the UK. Jacob drops Squirrel Sniper's link. Michael says, bro, I'm free from Pakistan, so US and Pakistan as good friends. Oh, I am from Pakistan. Hey, we actually have some good friends who come here from Pakistan. And yes, God bless, my friend. Hey, Maui87, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. Poor man says, like the stuff they make in Kabir past Pakistan. They can make anything. I hadn't heard that before. Michael says, yes, brother. Last name Curry, just a Scottish name. Gotcha. McCarty is a Scotch-Irish name. Stuart says, go on Wendy's channel, Yogi Brother. She made a curry. I will do that. Always a good reason to go visit Wendy. Sniper says, yes, I wait for his announcement of retirement. Man, I see no... Maybe, I don't know. Can he come back from that? That was almost a humiliating loss. Michael says, yes, brother. Hey, be confident. How are you? Sniper says, greeting B. Let's see. Devi Kanandan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I know I mispronounced it. I'm from India. And you, I'm from the US, my friend. Welcome. The subcontinent. The birthplace, the home place of yoga, of Buddhism. Be confident says, greetings. Greetings to you, my friend. Stuart says, he drops the link and says, Bob can't fish worth a link. My favorite, the double pole action when they both go at the same time and watching Bob spring into action. It was fun hanging out with Skeeter yesterday morning on his live stream. My Pennsylvania boys, man. Michael says, you are body language and gives me respect. So thank you, bro. My real name is Muhammad Mustafa. Okay, brother. Muhammad, my friend. Welcome. And you're right. All respect for you, my friend. Poor man says, sub squirrel finally. You know, it's funny how that we get so familiar with our friends here that we don't even realize they might have slipped under the table somehow. Be confident says, Buddhism is really an amazing thing. It is, very much so. I've done a few deep dives into Buddhist meditation practices. My preference, my calling is yoga. However, garner some wisdom from wherever you find it, and if it's useful in your life, use it. If it brings you joy, if it brings you a sense of peace, if it helps in any way. Galong says, what time is it there? It is 6. Thank you for asking that, because I want to take my, this is an herbal supplement, does have a little bit of melatonin in it. James Day asks a very personal question. Maybe I'll do a poll and everyone can vote on the answer. Be Confident says, what does the skull emoji imply? You know what? I don't actually know. I see just about every sentence in YouTube. I don't think it means anything good. Stuart says, hello, my darling Wendy babe. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Sorry, I missed you right when you came in, my friend. Wendy, I hear that you are making a curry. So here's a question for you guys. What's the difference between using curry and making a curry? Again, I'm showing my innocence of the world. I don't know the difference. Be Confident says, James, what do you mean? I don't know. Is that the best thing to say? It's an odd thing to say. When he says, thank you for sharing my link in chat, Jacob Colby. Jacob is awesome. Awesome doing that. Never asked anything in return. However, I do want to ask Jacob to make sure that he shares his own link so people can connect with him. Michael says, brother, yoga is amazing, but Muslim greatest exercise is namaz bro. I'm going to look that up. I will look that up, my friend. Michael says, sorry, brother. I am very happy for I talked to you. I love you so much. More. I love you too, my friend. And no need to ever be sorry. Poor man says, at 41. Nice. 9 more. Hey, is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Poor Man? If you don't mind. For one, he's a really, really good guy. For two, it'll help him. We want to get him to 50 so he can live stream. We got a lot of great people doing workouts who'd love to live stream. And man, it would be great to see Poor Man trading reps with these guys. So yeah, he's a good guy. It'd be very helpful for him. And 3, you'll really enjoy the content. The fact that he does these super hard workouts with like minimalistic equipment, many of which he made himself. Who doesn't want to see someone pick up a rock and carry it around? B says, my daughter's watching Disney's Frozen. So, man, this is like an evening of confession for me. I'm going to confess again. I've never seen Frozen 1 or 2. Be Confident says, Disney makes not incredible movies. They make incredible movies. Stuart says, Yogi, I blocked him. So here's the thing. I never question the mods. I try not to question the mods. Because they're here to do favors. They're here to keep the conversation flowing. So Stuart, I appreciate you doing what you do, my friend. Bunny says, I'm not too bad, thanks. The curry was made on a live stream 5 months ago. You're more than welcome to check it out. I will check it out. Curry was delicious. Nice. Jacob says, thanks for having me on your live stream. Once again, Brother Mr. Yogi, truly appreciate it. Much respect. Big salute. Big salute to you, Jacob. Sniper says, be confident. I would watch with her and use your discernment. Do you think it's, I don't know much about the movie. Is it something that a child would need supervision with? Jacob says, blessings to you all. Thank you, Jacob. He's talking about Frozen, I believe, B. Stuart drops the link for Jacob. Thank you, Stuart. Seppa says, Google Disney and subliminal messages. Hey, William. Poor man says, thank you, Yogi. You're welcome, poor man. Absolutely. Bumblebee T. T, how are you, my friend? I actually know how you are, as we just talked, what, half an hour ago, maybe? P. Confidence says, Frozen is a child's animation movie. Yep, I know it's a movie. I sort of vaguely know what it's about. I've never actually watched it, though. P. Confidence says, I have to go. I'm gonna get to sleep. Well, thanks for visiting. Very much appreciated. T says, Eden, did you stick with your plan? What you were going to do? Let's see. William says, yeah, they still have dark undertones that often do not we often do not readily recognize. T says, Squirrel, what's this about Disney and subliminal messages? Sniper says, Eric, Disney has a narrative, unfortunately not a good one. It's all about the family values and not fracturing it. Orphans, lost children, take Bambi. Stevie Dix says, MAGA. T says, Yogi, yeah. Well, good. I'm glad that you stuck with that. T says, Squirrel, I got removed from the cinema at age 5 due to Bambi. Were you crying? You know what Disney movie affected me quite a bit? Old Yeller. Rose says it alienates children from their parents, promising that Disney is the land of lost, where they will find their home. Huh. I grew up on Disney. I certainly didn't feel alienated. Seppa says you have placed your 4-year-old in front of Bambi, and you go make dinner. 3 minutes in, Bambi's mother is shot, and it's alone in the world. The mind control trauma right there. My man says Old Yeller got the rabies. Yeah, he did. Poor dog. Got the rabies protecting his family. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat making some noise. T says, Yogi, yes, I was crying. I barred myself from 3 Disney movies due to my trauma. Bambi, Pinocchio, and Dumbo. Didn't Dumbo have a happy ending? Didn't Pinocchio have a happy ending? Stuart says Bambi is delicious. I've heard venison sausage, or not venison, venison jerky. Rose says, I wish I could try venison, but I don't know anymore. T says, never heard Old Yeller. Man, to me, I think Old Yeller is the saddest of all. Not sad in a bad way. It's actually written by Fred Gibson. I have one of his books left over from when I was a kid called The Hound Dog Man. He wrote a lot about Texas. Semper says it's trauma addressed in colorful cartoons. William says Who Framed Roger Rabbit is intense to watch as a kid. That wasn't really meant as a child's movie, though, was it? Just because something's animated doesn't necessarily mean it's for children. Case in point, do you guys remember Heavy Metal? T says Dumbo Mummy was parted from child and also bullying in Pinocchio. Cinderella had a lot of bullying in as well. But you know, a lot of these were based on Cinderella was based on older folk tales. So it says worst film I cried at. Watership Down. Oh yeah, Watership Down. And Two Brothers. I don't think I've heard of Two Brothers. Man, I haven't thought of Watership Down in ages. Or it says venison is deer jerky. Well, venison is just deer meat. But Stuart has made venison jerky before. My cousins used to make venison jerky. They used to make all kinds of. I actually met Bob, Anything is Possible. I was subscribed, but I never participated in his channel until one day he was making with his family homemade venison sausage. And I popped in, not planning on staying, just wanting to offer some support. And then I was going to go out. You know, here a vegan. What am I going to do hanging out with the family making venison sausage? However, one of the reasons I clicked on it, again, my family used to do it all the time. So it brought me back to that time in my early years as a kid, as a child, all the way through my teens. And man, it was just so much fun hanging out with Bob. Such a warm welcome that I've been going back ever since. And through Bob, I met Stuart, and I've been hanging out with Stuart every day. Poor man says, backstraps are the best cut of venison. Is that the most tender? T says, I'm listening to this as I'm making up meds and supplements for tonight. I answer if name is mentioned. Gotcha, my friend. Runner Boy says, oh God, not Watership Down. That's worse than most horror films. William says, last my off, Hass off. Yes, Heavy Metal. Yeah, I saw that as a kid too. I saw that in the movie theater. Not a kid's movie. Sniper says, you remember the U.S. national anthem played with the TV? I do remember that. For the night, had words up the screen. Well, beyond them were other words. The only subliminal mind will capture. Yeah, I felt asleep for that many, many times when I was a kid. William says, what is that, squirrel? Let's see. Stuart says, I make venison stew. That's what I was thinking, venison stew. Raymond says, at what stage do you feel like you've become the man you wanted to be? Man, that's a good question. Raymond, my friend, I will let you know when I get there. Here's the thing. I'm spending less time in life unbecoming, dropping all the things that I thought that I wanted, dropping the facade of the person I thought I should be, and just allowing myself to be as authentic as possible. Of course, if you're trying to be authentic, you're not really going to be authentic. I think a better way of saying it is I'm trying my best to drop everything that is not me and see what's left. And when I get there, I will certainly let you know. Cypher says, we'll send you a link, William, on your community page. James says, hi, are you from China? I am not from China. But I completely understand how you could make that assumption. Where it says, Squirrel, we found another one. Venison actually refers to any kind of game meat. It has adopted the most common reference to any kind of meat, any kind of deer meat. Nice, I didn't know that, boy. I do remember Spike and Mike's animation, MTV 90s. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Eric Lapointe brought up, remember Remote Patrol, the game show that was on in the 90s on MTV? So it says, Bob and I are a package. Yeah, but Stuart, you were one of the people that was just so friendly and welcoming every time that I went on Bob's. So there was no way I could keep going to Bob's and not visit and hang out with Stuart. As he said, package deal. And man, am I ever happy that I decided to click on that live stream and not just do a cursory appearance, hey, like and subscribe, but actually hang out and get to know people. Because I've met some people that I really care about that are super fantastic. Dams, Skeeter, Wendy, Stuart. So I mentioned in a live stream, one of the 5 a.m. live streams, about stepping outside of your perceived comfort zone, especially on YouTube, that I'm only going to go on fitness channels. I'm only going to go on yoga channels. I'm only going to do this. I'm only going to do that. Step outside and get to know people. I got excellent friends who are gamers in the outdoor community. Crafting channels. Absolutely love hanging out with crafting channels. Be honest with you, I'd rather hang out with all of those people than people in the yoga circles, because there's a lot of arguing. I'm going to out yoga you. I'm more of a yogi than you're a yogi. That I can breathe deeper, fuller, hold my breath longer, that I can stand on my head indefinitely, that I'm more self-realized than you are self-realized. My nothingness is greater than your nothingness. It gets old very quickly. Well, it says, how many times do you lie in a day? Me? Actually, don't count. One of the yamas, the yogic ethical restraints, is non-lying. I do not lie to other people, but I do find myself caught up sometimes in older lies about myself, telling myself that I'm this kind of a person, which isn't true. And if you stop and you pause and you realize it's not true, I've just always considered myself. I've always considered myself this or that or whatever. And then you catch yourself and you ask, is that true? Can I absolutely know for certain if it's true? How do I act when I believe that it's true? And in the absence of the thought that it was true, who would I be? And that changes everything. Raymond says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Sniper says, post a link to your Phoenix coin. Liquid television, a lot of acid going around the MTV in the 90s. Man, I was there for the very first MTV video. Video Killed the Radio Star. 84? Golden age for music videos, that's for sure. D. Muller says, you remember Drop Dead Fred? Look, Cobwebs? Drop Dead, didn't that have Phoebe Cates in it? It was a movie, right? Phoebe Cates. Philippe. Man, there's a lady right now having a mental breakdown on another channel right now. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, what can you do to comfort? Is there anything you can do for comfort? Could you just be a presence? Could you be a comforting presence, letting someone know that you're there? Maybe not say anything. Just say, I'm there. I'm here. And if you need to speak, I'm here to listen. Foreman says, Drop Dead Fred, Bill Murray movie. I thought it had Phoebe Cates in it. Ramen lover? Timo says, find it and watch it. Not Bill Murray. I'm going to remember to look that up. I remember it. I'm not placing it though. I'm going to Google it real quick. And yep, it had Phoebe Cates. Funny how I remember that. I don't remember anything else except for Phoebe Cates. And the reason why, guys, if you ever watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the diving board scene, then you will forever remember Phoebe Cates. I don't know, man, I'm definitely the oldest person here. But if anyone here is a child of the 80s, one of the all-time great 80s movies, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Jeff Spicoli, my role model of much of the 80s, you'll remember Phoebe Cates. Rowan says, scroll, I could not find it. Jeff, you're thinking, what about Bob? Yeah, that was Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. Stuart says, Philippe, what's the name of that channel? I will cheer her up. Thank you, Stuart. Hey, Philippe, I hope you caught that message. Stuart says if you can drop the link or if you know the name of the channel. Hey, I would urge everyone. We could actually, I'm going to be ending the live stream in 10 minutes. Everyone can go there. Man, what a huge gesture, Stuart. Thank you. Demilla says, I remember it. Stuart says, my mistakes, William. It's one that expires in an hour. Yeah, that's sad to hear, Philippe. I hope you're still here and you can drop that link. So we're off to a start of a new week tomorrow. Poor man is at 42. Might make a short tonight. Getting close now. Hey, I'm gonna click on your video. 40-pound Navy SEALs with ankle weights. Man, I keep shaking my head just looking at the title. Let me share that out. And maybe that might get a few. Eight more to go, guys. Yeah, hey, you know what? I imagine one visit over on Stuart's page, and that could get you there. Let's see. Demo says, "Have you watched any horror movies in the '80s?" Yeah, I watched Poltergeist, and in the movie theater, man, that was scary. That was definitely scary. Phantasm. There's a scene of Phantasm, this tall, skinny walking man, and he just looks over slowly at the guy. I don't remember much else about the movie except for that, and it was pretty freaky. American Werewolf in London, which was funny and surprisingly scary. More shocking than scary. Ghost Story. It was a book written by Peter Straub, and they made it into a movie. It was a scary movie, too. Poor man says, Yellow Clowns from Outer Space. I did not see that one. Poor man says, it's Leo's routine. I just added a few seals. Thank you, Yogi. Stuart says, links don't work for me. I just need the channel name. Gotcha. Philippe, my friend, are you still here? Stuart says, I will be live tomorrow. Hey, poor man, did you hear that? Stuart will be live tomorrow. He's live pretty much every day. Again, Stuart and Bob, anything is possible, full-time YouTubers. Lawrence is very neat. Poor man says, yeah, I'll check him out live. Yeah, make sure you're, just a reminder, because I often forget, when you subscribe, hit the all notification so you'll know when he goes live. As well, because it's a package deal, don't forget anything is possible. And from there, keep expanding. Skeeter, dams. Connect with Wendy up above. She's part of the package deal too. Well, it's a shame it doesn't seem that we'll get the channel's name. I'm trying to think of other well-known 80s movies or 80 movies scary movies that I saw, horror movies. I think Ghost Story might still hold up as pretty scary. And it was Fred Astaire's last movie. T says, sorry, quiet, not feeling well physically. It's okay, T. Get some rest. And of course, man, 80s movies, John Hughes movies, most specifically, Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And maybe my all-time favorite 80s movie, Say Anything. John Cusack. Hey, Specs, how are you? Hey, I had your live stream up, Specs. I didn't get a chance to say hi, but I had you up and I was watching. Maverick says, I'm a racist. Hey, but you're aware of it. When you're aware of it, you're open to possibilities. Stuart says, I found my baby haggis. Hey, what is a baby haggis? What's the difference between regular and baby? Specs says, oh, well, thank you so much. You're welcome, my friend. Hey, Specs, you are an excellent live streamer. Let's see. Maverick says, I'm from DC. Interesting. I'm from, well, I'm not from, but I live in between DC and Baltimore. Spec says, Stuart. Stuart says, you'll see tomorrow, Yogi. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Spec says, so kind of you to say. You're welcome. T says, Stuart, a baby haggis must be called a hagglet. I hadn't thought of that. Foreman says, I heard a guy say I'm not a racist. I hate everyone equally. Well, I guess it's good to know. Good to know who you hate. Spec says he's just grumpy then. The great thing to realize, there's really no such thing as a racist. You can believe you are, but there's really no such thing as beliefs. None of it is absolutely true. It has the appearance of being true as we're expressing it, as we're living it, but it's just a collection of thoughts. Thoughts in and of themselves are never true in and of themselves. Doesn't mean they don't have effects. Stuart says, well, hagglet is a good term, but I prefer baby haggis. Roy says, wasn't that George Carlin? Any equal opportunity hater? It sounds like something George Carlin would say. So when you realize that even the most racist person in the world is simply caught up in their own mind stuff, their own thoughts, their own beliefs, actually misbeliefs, and you see through it. You see through it. Again, it doesn't mean that you don't take seriously the effects, because we are living in a world of cause and effects. Just because we live in a world of cause and effect doesn't mean it's actual reality, if that makes sense. Poor man says, I think Rodney Dangerfield is my favorite comic of all time. Man, he was quick. He was quick. Man, I'm trying to think of my favorite comic. Robin Williams is pretty quick. Not my favorite. Rodney Dangerfield is pretty funny, though, that's for sure. And speaking of 80s movies, Back to School. Who doesn't want to see Rodney Dangerfield in a bathing suit doing a backflip off a high dive? And it has a amazing cameo performance by Kurt Vonnegut. How awesome is that? Poor man says again, no sex. My dog followed me in the bedroom, asked me to teach him to beg. I said, ask my wife. She won't teach you to roll over and play dead. Yeah, he was pretty amazing. Richard Pryor in the 80s. Man, I love Norm Macdonald. I absolutely love Norm Macdonald. You gotta have patience to appreciate Norm Macdonald. Don't expect to hear a quick joke. You might hear a quick joke, but chances are you're gonna hear like a very long, drawn out joke that you don't know where it's going until it hits you. Absolutely amazing. Man, I didn't realize he was sick for so long. He never made an issue out of it. Norm Macdonald's Dirty Johnny joke. Not sure if I remember that. I'm going to look that up. So about 5 minutes, I think we'll shut things down for the day. I'm going to give one last appeal to our friend Felipe, just in case he might have stopped by again. If you have the channel name for the lady who was having the breakdown. So it says, Specs, sorry about your mods you've chosen. Please let me give you advice. Please don't take my wrench. That doesn't sound good. I'm sorry if you had a bad experience with some mods, Specs. Poor man says, YouTube it, hard to find Dirty Johnny joke. I will look for it. Stuart says, you can trust me. Absolutely. Poor man says, Specs, thank you for the sub. So where does that put us? Is that 44? Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, I think our friend Runnerboy might be live tomorrow morning. We're at 43. Let me double check. Yep, 43. 7 more to go. Signature, my friend, how are you? Great live stream, Signature, and thank you so much for those kind words. Foreman says, like to do 1K seals with Leo. Be rough, but I think I can get it. Oh yeah, no doubt that you can get it. It's all about pace. Don't set a time zone or a time goal. I'm going to do it in this amount of time. At least not the first time. Anyone from 50K to 50 mile to 100 mile race, anyone who I've ever talked to starting out, and they always had a time goal, I'm going to get it in under, I want to get my first 100 in under 24 hours. 99% of them drop out. Train to finish. When you finish your first 100, then start thinking, all right, I got it under my belt. I realize how to navigate mistakes, what I can eat, what I can't eat. you learn all these little things. If you ever feel a hot spot on your foot at mile 17 in a 100-mile race, take care of it now, because a little hot spot becomes a race-stopping blister by mile 56. All those little things. So your second race, you think, all right, I finished my first race 29 hours on a 30-hour cutoff, which I did, by the way. Then start thinking, I wonder if I could do 26, 27. 27 is a respectable time. And then start thinking sub 24, unless you're a monster runner. Poor man says, have to pace it for sure, definitely. Sniper says, night all, have a great evening. You too, Squirrel. Thank you. Stuart says, Yogi, remember Bob goes members only tomorrow? Thank you. I did not know that. I will be there. I am right now I'm a member on a handful of channels. Proudly so for Bob, proudly so for Stuart. Optimob, Mir, of course. And there's a fifth one. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Right now, I don't remember who that is. Poor man says, awesome live, Yogi. Appreciate you. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you, poor man. Yep, I think I'm going to sign off. Well, I can't sign off now. I haven't gotten another good live yet from Eric Lapointe. Eric says, poultry, venison, beef, pork are all French way to say meat without naming the animals. We've had this conversation once before, haven't we? And that's interesting. Sabine says, so Yogi Eric, well, let's stay live a little bit, just 5 more minutes. We got Sabine here. Sabine, I'm actually surprised that you are still awake, my friend. What a beautiful live stream or premiere from Optimob. Judson says, what's the French name for horse meat? Interesting. I don't know. Eric Point says, yes, my friend. Sweet says, yes, we had afterwards a live stream. I saw that you went live. I was talking to a friend on the phone and didn't have a chance to stop by. I apologize. And we didn't edit now. Oh, nice. That was a long live stream. Poor man says, nothing but respect for the French, true badasses. Savate, their own fighting system. Poor man says, Napoleon, etc., WW1. Eric Point is laughing with Dredson. Hey, and the French made their way across especially in the north, the North American continent. Getting along much better with the Native Americans, Native Canadians than other Europeans. Let's see. Get some emojis from Signature. Signature did a great live stream as well. It's fun hanging out there. Eric Point says, yes, Yogi. Stuart says hello to Eric. Hey, Eric, I know that you hunt, but do you fish as well? Sabine says hello to Sabine. Foreman says you should check out WW1 Tales and WW2 Tales. Great audio commentary, historical. Huh. Man, we are coming to the end of the WW2 vets. I thought about that when my dad passed away. He was in the South Pacific and 45, the tail end of World War II. But man, that was not the time to be on a minesweep. End of the war coming up, and Japan had kamikaze raids planned, knowing that they were losing. My dad had mixed feelings about dropping the bombs. He hated the mass destruction and what it led to. But at the same time, had that not happened, the war might have continued. He might not have survived kamikaze raids on minesweeps. There's just no easy answer in times of warfare. Speed says hello to Stuart the Fish Whisperer. Signature says thanks for coming to my live stream today. Oh, you're welcome, my friend. I enjoyed it. And again, thank you for those kind words. Justin says like watching W2 vet interviews. I had two uncles who were in the thick of it in the European theater. One was at Auschwitz, the liberation. They were not prone to talk about it. Poor man says W2 Tales has a lot of stories from German side I've never heard before. A lot of great struggles, unbelievable. Poor man says WW1, WW2 Tales on YouTube, absolute gold. I'm gonna look into that, poor man. Thanks. Rick Point says, I used to every day. It became a problem. It sounds like an addiction. I was fishing all day and night, but I'm going to get back into it. But I raise fish so I can harvest from fish from my pond if I need to eat. Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe hanging out with Bob and Stuart and Skeeter. I saw you on Skeeter yesterday. Might have inspired you to pick it up again. So they're feeding the addiction. Man, I hope they're proud of themselves. Foreman says, that's awesome, Eric. Free meat. Now we do burpees. One addiction for another. Sometimes, you know what? That might be the best we can hope for. Upgrading our addictions. Speed says, okay, friends, over here, saying goodnight to you all. Take care and God bless you all. Goodbye. God bless you, my friend. Yeah, we're going to shut things down too. Man, I made it to an hour and a half. Nice. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. We ran the gauntlet on this conversation. From racist to horror movies to favorite comics, fishing, and lots of things in between. Criticism. Eric Point says, good night, everyone. Good night, Eric. Poor man. Hope to see you over at Stewart's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day. The last thing that we do. We are getting Poor Man's Gym to 50 subs. Let's make it 51. Because you never know, if someone discontinues their channel, you want to be at least one over. You want that sort of that fail-safe switch. That's the project for tomorrow. Maybe get our friend Mir involved to work his magic. All right, with that, I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. Thanks again. Much appreciated, guys. Take care.